Hey there, hello there. Jeff Cutter Diamond welcome you to the next round of the Stone Cold Hockey Kitchener Rangers tournament. All 16 of these teams have at least one Kitchener Ranger on them. Former Kitchener Ranger, of course. So we have the 75 Habs with Doug Riseborough and Larry Robinson against the 75 Flyers with one Bill Barber. The 2012 Nashville Predators with Matt Helischek against the 84 Capitals with Scott Stevens. People forget he was a Capital to start his career. The 2012 Boston Bruins with Gregory Campbell, the checking for against 2022's Radek Faksa, the Stars. 2012 Phoenix with Michael Bodker against 1971 Rangers with Jack Eagers and Will Kachuk. 2012 Kings with Mike Richards against 1984 Oilers with Paul Coffey. 94 Panthers with Mike Hood against 94 Flames with Val McInnes. 91 Penguins with Paul Coffey against 22 Winnipeg with Logan Stanley. And 75 Sabres with Jim Lorentz and Don Luce against the 22 Blues with one Robert Butuzzo. So I did the tally marks in the first round and had 41 goals in 85 games were scored by any Kitchener Ranger around. So we're going to just do this next round. Montreal Philly, game one, saw Montreal win 4-2. Dryden beats Perrant. Montreal goals by Guy Lapointe, Yvan Cournoyer, Bob Gainey, and Yvan Lambert. Philly goes by Bill Barber, Kitchener, and Tom Blyden. Nashville, Washington, game one, Nashville win 5-4. Washington goes by Mike Gardner, Bobby Gold, and Alan Haworth. Nashville goes by Craig Wilson, Matt Helischek, Kitchener, Mike Fisher, Martin Erat, and Nick Spalling. I think Nick Spalling was a Kitchener Ranger too, wasn't he? Yeah, Nick Spalling was a Kitchener Ranger too. I remember. Nick Spalling was a Kitchener Ranger. Oh yeah, Nick Spalling's on the team. Okay. So there are two Nashville Predators who are Kitchener Rangers. Okay. Boston, Dallas. Game one saw Boston win 4-1. Dallas goal by Jason Robertson. Marchand, Sean Ford, and Krejci and Sagan scoring the goals for Boston. Rangers beat Phoenix 5-2. Phoenix goes by Rafi Torres and Lloyd Kropkowski. Ranger goes by Dave Ballin, John Rattel, Pete Stamkowski, Tim Horton, and Glenn Savior. Yes, that Glenn Savior. Jackman beats Mike Smith. I should be doing the goaltenders. Tim Thomas beat Jake Ottinger, and Pekka Rinne beat Al Jansen. Another prompt. Edmonton beat LA 3-1. Moog beat Bernier. LA goal by Anze Kopitar from Scooter and Williams. Edmonton goes by Wayne Gretzky, Yari Curry, and Mark Messier. Calgary, Florida. Florida winning 3-1. Fitzpatrick beat Fernan. Only Calgary goal by Neuendijk from Robertson Reichel. Stu Barnes, Andre Lomakin, and Bob Kudelski scoring for the Panthers. Winnipeg being Pitt 4-1. Eric Comrie beating Frank Pietrangelo. Pittsburgh only goal by Recchi from Herdina Erie. Blake Wheeler with a pair of goals. With Kyle Connor and Adam Lowry putting in goals themselves. And finally, St. Louis beat Buffalo 5-3. Bennington beat Gary Desjardins. Buffalo goes by Danny Gare, Jonathan Gourmont, and Danny Gare again. St. Louis goes by Ryan O'Reilly, Pavel Buchnevich, Jordan Kyrou, David Perron, and Braden Shen. All right, game two. Nashville, Washington we'll start with. And Washington wins 2-1. Jansen beats Rinne. Curry with 2 goals for Washington. Blum for Nashville. Scott Stevens did get an assist for Washington. Boston winning again 4-1. Thomas beats Wedgwood. Dallas goal by Pavelski from Guriev. Boston goes by Gregory Campbell. Oh, haha, Gregory Campbell. Kitchener. Pair of Kitchener goals. 2 goals by him. Lucic and Krejci scoring. So Gregory Campbell's broken out of his shell. Phoenix wins in overtime. LaBarbera beats Filmrun. Ranger goals by Jean Rattel, Walkachuk, and Walkachuk. Kitchener twice. Phoenix goes by Ray Whitney, Boyd Gordon, Martin Hansel, and overtime by Ray Whitney from Roosevelt and Ekman Larson. LA Edmonton. LA wins in overtime. Bernier beats Moog. Edmonton goes by Dave Hunter, Wayne Gretzky, and Wayne Gretzky again. LA goes by Drew Doughty, Anze Kopitar, Justin Williams. Dustin Brown, the hero from Williams. I see Coffee with an assist. Calgary beat Florida 5-1, so they split this series. Vernon beats Van Beesbrook. The only Florida goal was Jody Hall from Cambridge, Ontario, from Benning and Kutelski. Calgary goes Fleury, Otto, Petit, Fleury, and Fleury. Now Fleury with the hat trick. Flurry of goals, pun intended. Pittsburgh beat Winnipeg in Game 2, 5-3. Barrasso beats Comrie. Winnipeg goals by Blake Wheeler, and Kyle Connor. So Wheeler looking pretty good. He scored 4 goals in 2 games. Pittsburgh goals by Phil Bork, Joe Mullen, Bob Erie, Paul Coffey, Kitchener, and Barry Pedersen. So that's 8 goals by a Kitchener Ranger. Buffalo beats St. Louis to split the first 2 games in that series 5-1. Roger Crozier beats Bennington. Only St. Louis goal by Kyrou from Scandella. Buffalo goals by Craig Ramsey, Rene Robert, Danny Gare, and Kitchener's Jim Lawrence. Putting it at 1. And then Montreal Philly game 2 sees Philly win 7-3 to split that series. Only one series is at 2-0. That's Boston. Wayne Stevenson beats Ken Dryden. Montreal goals by Larry Robinson, Kitchener. Guy Laplante and Guy Laplante again. Philly goes by Tom Bladen, Bill Barber, Kitchener. Reggie Leach. Jim Watson, Don Salaski, or Big Bird as they call him, and McLeish. So that's 11 Kitchener Ranger goals. Boston up 2-0. Can they make it 3? They do. They win 5-3. Thomas Buchanan, Ference, Peverly, Sagan, Bergeron, and Krejci. With the goals, Dallas goals by Pavelski, Klingberg, and Hintz. Boston looks like they can sweep. Rangers Phoenix, Game 3 goes to Phoenix, 5-3 as Smith beats Vermeulen. Ranger goals by Welkachek, Kitchener, Bill Fairburn, and Pete Stamkowski. Phoenix goes by Patrick O'Sullivan, Boyd Gordon, Keith Yando, Michael Bodker, Kitchener, and Laurie Kopikowski. LA Edmonton sees Edmonton win 4-3 as Fuhr beats Quick. LA goes by Mike Richards, Kitchener, Justin Williams again. Edmonton goes by Dale Hunter, Yuri Curry, Glenn Anderson, and yes, Paul Coffey, Kitchener. So that's 15. Florida Calgary sees Calgary win 5-2. Vernon beats Van Beesbrook. Florida goes by Mike Foligno and Jesse Belanger. There's Mike Hood with an assist. Calgary goes by Gary Roberts, Al McInnes, Kitchener, Joel Otto, Paul Ranheim, and Wes Walls. I keep thinking Paul Ranheim was the guy who played for Kitchener Rangers for Vancouver. One time he played for Vancouver, but that was not Ranheim. That wasn't Paul Ranheim. No, it wasn't Ranheim. I'm thinking, what was that former Canuck player defenseman in '89? Was it? That wasn't Ranheim. Did his name start with the letter R or something? He scored an overtime goal in 1989 for the Canucks. Oh, that's Reinhardt. Reinhardt, not Ranheim. Pittsburgh Winnipeg game 3 sees Winnipeg win 8-3 as Comrie takes down Peter Angelo. Pittsburgh goals by Yager, Francis, and Mullen. Winnipeg goals by Connor, Morrissey, Lowry, Dubois, Lowry, Ehlers. Logan Stanley picked up an assist. Buffalo St. Louis sees the Blues win 5-3. Houston sees Philly win 5-3 as Perron beats Buddy LaRocque. Montreal goals by Pete Mahovlich, Guy Lafleur, and Jacques Lemaire. Philly goes by Bill Barber, Kitchener, Bill Clement, Bobby Clark, Bill Clement. So Clement has the hat-trick. And Nashville, Washington, game 3 sees Washington win 4-1. Jansen beats Rene. The only Nashville goal was leg one from Shea Weber. Washington goes by Curry, Gustafson, Gold, and Haworth. So does Boston sweep? We won't. We'll find out soon. But anyway, Phoenix, New York. Rangers win and force at least a game 6. Nevin from Fairburn, Irvin from Gilbert, and Nielsen. So no Kitchener Ranger goals. LA Edmonton. Edmonton wins 3-1. They are up 3-1. Quick losing the fear. Only King goal was Clifford from Fraser and Luktanoff. Edmonton goals by Gretzky, Hughes, and Curry. Florida Calgary. Calgary wins 5-2. They're 1 win away. Van Beesburg losing to Trevelov. Mellenby and Belanger scoring. That's it, Belanger. Calgary goes by Reiko, Roberts, Ranheim, Reiko, and Kissio. Remember Kelly Kissio? Pittsburgh beats Winnipeg 7-2. It's now game 6. Brussels beats Comrie. Winnipeg goes by Dubois and Shashnikov. Pittsburgh goes by Solapsky. He shouldn't be on that team because he got traded to Hartford. Paul Coffey, there's Kitchener. Bob Erie, Mark Recchi with the hat trick, and Paul Stanton with a goal. Buffalo, St. Louis. St. Louis on prolongation, 5-4, Bennington beats Bromley. So they're up 3-1. Buffalo goes by Stanfield, Richard Martin, Gouvermont, and Ramsey. St. Louis goes by Robert Thomas, Vadi Tarasenko, Wallman, Tarasenko, and David Perron on the prolongation. Montreal beats Philly to force a game 6. Dryden beats Stevenson. Bob Hound Kelly from Barber Leach. Barber got an assist. We don't count assist. Goals, Tremblay, Lafleur, and Murray Wilson were the guys for Montreal. Washington wins 2-1. They are now 1 win away. Overtime heroics. Hauber from Curry and Blomqvist. Eberle from Hornquist and Radulov. But it was Spank Gustafson from Gold to win it for Washington. And does Boston sweep? The answer is no. They lose 4-3. They were close. Holtby beats Thomas. Boston goes by Pouliot, Lucic, and Boychuk. Dallas goes by Hintz, Klingberg, Jason Robertson, and Hockenpah. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series at 3-1. Let's go to the 2-2s. Pittsburgh, Winnipeg first. And Pittsburgh with an 8-2 win. Brazzell beats Comrie. Winnipeg goes by Connor and Demetro. Pittsburgh goes Herdina, Stanton, Stevens, Lemieux, Stevens, Erie, Coffey, Kitchener, and Solapsky. So that's 20 Kitchener Ranger goals in that round. Montreal, Philly. Sees Philly win 2-1. Perron beats Ryden. Clark and Zaleski for Philly. Petey Mahovich for Montreal. Riseborough got an assist, but not a goal. Phoenix Rangers. It is Phoenix who will take the advantage. 2-1. Smith beat Jackman. Ranger goals Gilbert from Hatfield and Irvin. Hansel and Doan. Or it should be Hansel and Gretel, but fuck off. Edmonton. Did they win? The answer is no. They lose 3-2. Quick beats Fear. Edmonton goes by Gretzky and Dave Hunter. LA goes by Drew Doughty, Anze Kopitar, and Slava Voynov. Calgary, do they win the series? Yes, they do. They send Florida and Mike home unhappy. So 94 Florida. Mike ends up with only 2 points in the playoffs. 5-4 Calgary in overtime. Florida goes by Kudelski, Screwlin, Fitzgerald, and Gord Murphy. Calgary goes by Wes Walsh, Gary Roberts, Al McInnes, Kitchener, and Gary Roberts. And then Roberts ends with a hat trick from Neuendijk and Stern. So Al McInnes and the 94 Flames are still in this tournament. 91 Pittsburgh 22 St. Louis. Did they win in 5? Yes, they did. They sent the 75 Sabres of Lorenz and Luce out of there. Probably loses to Husso. Buffalo goes by Don Luce, Kitchener, and Lee Foglin Sr. St. Louis goes by Falk, Buchnevich, Kyrou, Letty, and Perral. There's Bertuzzo with an assist. 75 Sabres. Jim Lorenz with 5 points. Don Luce had 13 to lead the team, but Richard Bertrand only 8. Washington, do they win the series? Yes, they do. They take down Nashville and get rid of both Halishchuk and Spaulding. 5-3 Washington is your final. Nashville goes by Leguan, Shea Weber, and David Leguan. Washington goes by Bob Carpenter, Mike Gardner, Ben Gustafson, Alan Hallworth. The 2012 Predators. Housecheck had 2 points. Nick Spalding had 3, so not a lot of points from those Sabres. I mean, for those Predators. And does Boston beat Dallas? Yes, they do. 3-1. So Dallas is Radek out. Boston 3-1. Dallas goal by Peterson from Klingberg and Radulov. Sagan scored twice for Boston. Horton scored the other goal. So 2022 Dallas. Radek had a scant 2 points. No goals. So we have 4 game 6s on the list. Philly, did they beat Montreal? No, we got a game 7. Montreal wins 2-1. Robinson, Kitchener. Scoring with Mario Tremblay. Zaleski for Philly. So we could see. I don't know what we have. We have. No team has won back to back. Well, Philly won back to back 2 and 3. Phoenix will lose to the Rangers 5-1. Phil Murray beats Mike Smith. Only Phoenix goal was by Keller O'Reilly from Gilbert Brule. Ranger goals by Stamkowski, McGregor, Hatfield, Stamkowski, and Ted Irvin. Break the walls down. Edmonton, do they win game 6? The answer is yes, they do. They send Mike Richards and the Kings home unhappy 3-1. Moby Bernier. Drew Doughty scored from Williams and Hunter, McClelland, Hughes, and Curry for Edmonton. So 2012 Kings. Mike Richards had put 9 points up, third behind Williams and Kopitar. And Pittsburgh will go to game 7. They lose 7-2. Hellebuck beats Pietrangelo. Pittsburgh goes by Stevens and Recchi. Winnipeg goes by Tumnatel, Dubois, Shifley, Connor, Dubois, Stastny, and Ehlers. So we have 3 game 7s. Philly Montreal is the huge one. Game 7. Is it Montreal? No, Philly crushing the 75 Canadians into fine powder. No Riseborough, no Robinson. Montreal goes by Roberts, Riseborough, well, Kitchener, and Serge Savard. Philly goes by Leach, Clark, McLeish, Crisp, Lonsberry, Bladen, Barber, yes, Kitchener, and Lonsberry. So that's 25 Kitchener Ranger goals. 75 Habs are out. Riseborough had 4 points, just 1 goal. Larry Robinson had 5 points. And all Rangers Phoenix game. Rangers? No, Phoenix sends the 71 Rangers packing 5-1. Smith beats Jackman. Only Ranger goal was Hatfield from Nielsen and Stamkowski. Phoenix goes by Doan, Acoin, Korpikoski, and Taylor Pyatt. 71 Rangers had 2. Guys, Jack Eagers with 1 point, just a goal. Rod Sealy had 2 points. And Walkochuk had 12, 1 back of Stamkowski for first. And finally, Winnipeg, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins 6-4, so Winnipeg is out of there. Logan Stanley is out of there. Winnipeg goes by Shifley, Stastny, Lowry, and Perfetti. I wish that Shifley did count as Kitchener goals because they would have had 4 of them, but nope. Pittsburgh goes by Recchi, Erie, Young, Coffey, Solapsky, and Gordy Roberts. Paul Coffey has 8. Kitchener, 26. So that's 26. So that's count. So it's 26. Second round goals in how many games? 7, 12, 17, 24, 30, 35, 42, 47. So 26 goals in 47 games. A better percentage this time for Kitchener Rangers. Yeah, 22 Winnipeg. We should give Logan Stanley 5s. He only got 4 points. So the summary right now: goals. Gary Roberts of the 94 Flames has 10. He's still in it. Mark Recchi and Ruby Hinsman 9. Guy Lafleur and Paul Coffey. Hey, Coffey, Kitchener Ranger, with 8. Yeah, 75 Habs are out, and the 22 Stars are out, right? Yeah. So that's the goal scoring. Points wise, Mark Recchi with 23 for the 91 Penguins. Paul Coffey with 22 for the 91 Penguins. They're still in. Third place is Ryko of the 94 Flames. Mark Scheifele had 19. He's Kitchener born, but not Kitchener Rangers, so he doesn't count. Tim Thomas, the best goals against, with Tom Barrasso second and Ed Jackman third. Tim Thomas 191. Barrasso, when he plays well, 5-0. Big disparaging. Dryden was 6-3, but he had worse goals against than Murray Bannerman or Jonathan Bernier, and they barely played. Connor Hellebuck, 4.55 goals against for a 4-3 team. Well, there you got taken out. So the quarterfinals are the 91 Penguins and the 94 Flames. So it's a battle of Coffee versus McGinnis. 75 Flyers, 84 Washington. So it will be Bill Barber versus Scott Stevens. 2012 Boston with Gregory Campbell against 84 Edmonton with Paul Coffey. And 22 St. Louis with Robert Bertuzzo versus 2012 Phoenix with Michael Bodker. So those are the final 8 matchups. The final 8 that will move on and face off in times of neediness and greediness. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.